Welcome, everyone. All right. Okay. So there's that. All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. We are live streaming now today. Oh, fantastic to see everyone once again. We are back and in business. We are back and in business. All right. I'm excited to go through everything that we are discussing today because it was a new day here at Creditor Academy. We are getting started on a new journey to your guys's to the whole new Creditor Academy space. I'm testing out my live stream and making sure everything's working properly. All right, everything's working just fine. There are some huge changes here at Creditor Academy, as you can see. This is our new live presentation of our new of Creditor Academy. We have gone through so much changes here. Today is my official breakout day, so then I can speak to you all. Have a warm welcome to our platform. Creditor Academy has changed fundamentally on what it is that we've been accomplishing, what we've been working so hard for. And now, today, I get to give my huge presentation of the many changes here that have been happening at the Academy for the better. So I'm in a new space. I got my whole new wall, my whole new background. Everything is going to be really, really powerful in how we're going to be presenting our material here. If you go to www.creditoracademy.com, you're going to see a lot of these changes. I mean, it is a monumental amount of changes because operating in the private is our number one goal. And we need to do it in a very professional way. We have been working now here at Creditor Academy. We have 93 full-time staff. 93 of software developers, of instructional designers. We have educational counselors and so much more. And now, finally, we have the newest upgraded professional studio that we're going to be operating under. And I'm excited to be able to show you what we're going to be doing here at the Academy that's different than you've ever seen on any other platform. So I'm going to break this down for you guys and show you what it is to operate in the private now. Let me see if I can share my screen to demonstrate what this is. Okay, let's see. Here we go. So first and foremost, you're going to see the website update. And I've broadcasted everything on the website to really show you a step-by-step on how we're leading you here at Creditor Academy. So let's see if that works. Fantastic. Let's see. Doesn't look like it's sharing screen at the moment. Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to have to have a fun time of working this out with a couple of things. So I'll have to get into it. That's okay. This is my first learning curve. making sure that I get everything where it needs to be. So let me go ahead and start off by explaining what it is that we're covering that's brand new here at Creditor Academy. The three steps of your foundation for learning how to be into the private. So at Creditor Academy, the 3 steps are what we've included into our masterclass. Masterclass is the foundation for everybody getting into the private. Now, in Masterclass, what we cover in the 3 steps is first we go over putting you into the private. You need a private entity in order for you to get started. Okay? Right now, your contracts that you've been signing to the public system have been consistently revolved around you, your social security number, and you, of course, your personal liability. Now, your personal liability comes in actually 2 different ways. Your first personal liability comes from you signing contracts with banks, credit unions, personal guarantees for your lines of credit and all that. And that is what gets most people in trouble. I remember in just a few short years ago, I had my friends who had phenomenal businesses. I mean, the best businesses for themselves, their families, and their communities. They bought a brand new house. They got a nice car. And everything was working in their life as they intended it to. They had great lines of credit, even though it was personal credit that they were using for their business. But for the most part, they were making payroll. They were making a profit. They were even had a large amount of employees. Everything on face value was going just fine. There was no reason for my friends to believe that this gravy train of success would stop. But there's something that happened that not only happened to us in the United States, but affected the whole entire world. You know what that was? That was COVID-19. And overnight, everybody in the entire world with that safety and security of their personal lines of credit, their businesses, their futures that felt so secure, in one day the government shut it down. All government shut it down. No, you couldn't go to work, or you couldn't even have customers come into your place of business. You remember that? Everything shifted to online. It was the biggest money grab for these institutionalized technology companies like Amazon, Facebook, and the others to really take the corner market on the whole world. Now, what was sensible in security, now, before you knew it, your revenue stream completely stopped. And this killed American small businesses, absolutely destroyed them. And what happened is the government steps in and they say, hey, tell you what, how about $1,400? I'll give you $1,400. Will that sustain your business for the next couple years while we shut the world down? Hell no. Hell no. And what happened is all those people that took out the personal credit, the personal guarantees for their business, what ended up happening? They defaulted. They became late on their payments. They still had to pay that high interest rate. They still needed to pay payroll. So most people did what? They shut down their businesses, their companies. And as soon as you shut down their businesses and their companies, what did they have to do thereafter? Huh? You going to start another business? No, you got hundreds of thousands of dollars of personal credit that you're in debt in, that you got to repay back. Now you've been a business owner for 5, 10, 15 years. Now you got to go get a 9-to-5 job. You have to go back to your slavery of working for someone else on the 9-to-5 rat race. Inflation is through the roof. You just lost your house because your steady income from your business is now kaput. You have so much debt, it's ridiculous. You might be even have to downsize your car, take your kids out of private school, and so on and so on and so on. And why did all that happen? Why did all of this come about? Because you took a personal guarantee. From the very start, they trapped you. They told you, sign your name here, put a personal guarantee on this loan that you're going to receive for your business. And if you default or anything happens, you're on the hook. We're going to take your house, your car, we're going to take any of your savings, your assets, and all of that, and you're put on the street. That was the plan from the very beginning. And how did they do that? By teaching you in public school not about credit and finances. How are you supposed to succeed if from the very get-go they set you up for failure? They didn't even teach. I remember when I was in my third grade, I remember this was probably the last year that they did this, which was teach us how to write a check. Oh, this is where the name goes. This is where the numbers go. You know, this is what you put in the memo box. This is where the company and stuff like that goes to. You can't just write the number. You have to write out the number. That was like the only formal education I got on finances, essentially, besides what I learned in algebra and but I had no practical use for it. So now what happens is I'm sitting there, in college, just like you were, and the first thing that they give us is a credit card. I remember my first day of college, every student had a credit card application sitting on our desk. And they're like, hey, you're in college, man. You need to get some funding. Let's go ahead and get you a huge loan for you to pay for your schooling. And let's get this started for you. And I remember from the very first day of my education about the credit system, they taught me to put a personal guarantee on everything. And they gave me assurance that the degree that I'm about to graduate with is going to be more than enough in yearly or monthly revenue to pay this back later. You just pay it later. You just pay it later. Don't worry about it. Pay it later. And they make it so easy. They make it so easy, So now I go ahead and get a job into the medical field, worked in the medical field for many, many, many years. And then I went and started my own medical business. I started a home healthcare agency in Seattle. It was licensed, approved, and all that. I had employees, CNAs, caregivers, nurses. I had a back office staff and everything like that. Well, what did I do to fund this operation when I first started? I mean, it was about $15,000 for the licensing in itself. Then I had to pay for all the initial staff to kind of float me and all that. Well, I wasn't taught about credit besides what I learned in college. So I just applied the same principles as I did in college to float my college tuition and my way of life as I did for my business. I took out personal lines of credit, personal credit cards. Right? Took out those personal lines of credit. Everything in my business, though, was going great. I had big clients making one client on a 24-hour service a year on a monthly basis, 24/7 care, is $35,000 to $45,000 a month. I mean, raking in the money, right? I had no reason to believe that anything would be slowing down. If anything, I had more than enough finances to float it up. So then what ended up happening is I was running a home healthcare industry, and then all of a sudden COVID hit. Changed my life and my friend's life absolutely forever. And I was blown away on how much they were entrapping us into the slavery system. And what it was is that their entrapment started with that personal guarantee. Paul Michael, your business is not doing so well. Paul Michael, you're not getting as many clients. Paul Michael, we shut down all non-essential businesses, which luckily they saw me as essential, but they still made it hell from the Department of Health to operate my business. They added so many more protocols, and set so many requirements. And business slowed down significantly. significantly. And they just said, hey, Paul Michael, go pick yourself up by your bootstraps. You can make it. You just need to work harder. I hope you got enough savings and personal lines of credit. And it was an utter failure. It was an utter failure. I was able to eventually, after COVID got done, to really pick myself up and get through it. I was able to get some clients to see my way through. But for a lot of my friends, it was not like that. The same friends as I had in college that I was great friends with, who they started their own businesses, they're calling me up and they're saying, Paul Michael, I did the same thing you did. I took out personal guarantees because that was all I thought I needed to do in business, and we're done. We're cooked. And life has changed ever since. It won't ever be the same. And now my friends who have been out of business for 5, 10, 15 years, you got to imagine what they're saying. What they're saying is I haven't been working for someone for 5, 10, or 15 years, Paul Michael. I can't even imagine what it's like to be an employee. I've been a boss my entire life. I'm not even qualified for the majority of these businesses. And this is the trap. This is why I made Creditor Academy. Creditor Academy is to give you the proper education so that you don't personally guarantee anything, that you don't have any encumbrances or liabilities on anything that you utilize for the rest of your life, whether it's credit, whether it's houses, whether it's lease agreements, whatever. And there's one word that I would use in order to encompass this way of life, and that is being in the private. It's in the private. Privacy and what our founding fathers have set up in this country to have the right to not to contract using any personal guarantees, but rather entities that we control but not own. Because ownership, like I'm saying, it means liability. By utilizing these entities and knowing the ways to build credit, acquire property, utilize this for contracts in business, and separating ourselves on how we operate in commerce in this capitalist society, make sure that there ever again in the future is another COVID-19 scam, that we will not suffer for the rest of our lives for it. So, here at Creditor Academy, we have 3 essential steps that we put you through. Okay? I'm going to go through these steps. First of all, if what I'm saying makes sense to you so far in how I'm breaking this down, I want you to leave a comment. I want you to go inside of the chat and say, I hear what you're saying, I agree, or maybe even just say, hey, this is truth to power in what I'm saying. Come on, chat. Come on, chat. Put something inside of the box right now if I'm making sense to you. Does this make sense? Give me some feedback. And then I'm going to go over the 3 steps. Okay. Good. Elaine, good to see you. Elaine, great to see you. All right, we're going to go over the 3 steps to be in the private. These steps are foundational from your learning. I want you to go to www.creditoracademy.com, and I want you to go to the homepage of our website, and I want you to click on Become a Member. All right? Become a member, because I have the 3 steps outlined from there. Okay? So chat, here's the deal. The 3 steps are like this, okay? The first thing is that 1, we need to set you up in the private. We need to get you a private entity set up in order for you to operate, okay? That entity is called a business trust. You ever heard of a business trust? You ever heard? It's called an unincorporated business trust, okay? An unincorporated business trust is founded under American Jurisprudence, 2nd edition, volume 13. This is a great reference, right? It's business trust, okay? Business trust. Now, business trusts, or American jurisprudence, I should say, is backed by case law. If you open this up, it's a bunch of case law. Look at all that case law that's inside of there. The case law, I don't want you to hyper focus on. Right now, I want you to know what American jurisprudence is. American jurisprudence is basically, if I was to describe it, it's like, have you ever seen the For Dummies series? You know, algebra for dummies. Or, oh, I want to learn how to build a house for dummies. Or I want to learn how to cook for dummies. You know, the Dummies series, right? I love the Dummies series. American jurisprudence is the Dummies series for case law, is how I describe it. Because every time you see the case law that's down here below, they have just a summary up on top on what this case law means and what it applies to. I love American jurisprudence. Now, American jurisprudence, let me tell you, you can fill up my entire office with the books that American jurisprudence and the different subject matter that they write on, okay? But for the intended purposes of what we're talking about today, that's not important. What we're worried about only is the business trust version of American jurisprudence, okay? So what it says here, if you read this business trust on American jurisprudence, is you're going to find a lot of famous people in here. You're going to see the Rockefellers in here. You're going to see J.P. Morgan, you know. You're going to see really, really big names, okay? And these big names, these Rothschilds of our history, wanted a way for themselves to operate in commerce outside of their corrupt system that they were building for you and me. For you and me. This corrupt system that they were building for you and me was based upon the statutory, which was all about licensure and state permission in order for us to operate. Okay? What they were setting up is they were setting up a contract to regulate us, to tax us, and to make us agree by contract in order for us to be enslaved. I got to tell you, I know a lot of people feel like there's a lot of corruptions personally. If you want to really see what corruption really is, all you have to do is start a business and register it with the state. Amen to that? Chat, let me hear an amen to that, right? And I'm telling you, when I started my business with Washington State, I mean, they regulated me. They had so many filing fees and requirements. It was absolutely ridiculous. I was fed up with the amount of state oversight by the secretary in order for me to operate my business. And, you know, ask any business owner, hey, what's it like to register your business with the state? You'd be like, it's amazing. Amazingly not, though. It's not. Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. So an unincorporated business trust is exactly that. It's unincorporated. It means it's not incorporated. Incorporated means that you did a business deal with the Secretary of State. You shook hands with Satan. And you said, Satan, why don't you regulate me on my business and how I operate? And what the negative side of that is this, is that as soon as you incorporate with the state, everything's now public about you. If you are late on your filing fees, your taxes, your reporting, or you're caught about your licensure not being up to date, the state puts that all into the public. They publicly shame you. Publicly shame you. Well, what about defaults on loans at banks, right? Okay, I just had COVID, Paul Michael. My personal line of credit failed. I can't pay back the banks. I have to do bankruptcy now, right? Me personally have to do bankruptcy because I took out a personal line of credit, right? Well, guess what? The state is going to see that and then they're going to publicly shame you. So then when you start a business in the future and people start Googling you, they're going to be like, holy shit, this person's very unorganized. They've had previous company failures. Looks like that they're not keeping themselves in order with the state requirements. So why is this a trustworthy person to do business with? Which is a fair assessment and question for anybody to see if they saw a public hanging of you personally on what you do for your business or just operate in general. It's almost like a social credit score. You ever heard about in China? You have a social credit score. Your social credit score is low, so you can't get on the bus. You can't buy food. We're shutting down your bank account. This is like your social credit score of embarrassment. It's socially trying to embarrass you to follow the state's requirements and to convert yourself into their line of thinking and requirements. Okay? An unincorporated business trust has nothing to do with that. That's why I love it. An unincorporated business trust is the most powerful private entity to operate in all of commerce. And that's why the Rockefellers use it. That's why the Rothschilds use it. That's why all of these big time people in our history, and even nowadays, Facebook, Google, and all the others, this is why they use business trust. And now I want you to use business trust. I've been using business trust for 7 years. I'm very proficient at business trust. I know all of the ins and outs of a business trust. A business trust is so private and has so many advantages. I want to list out the advantages to you so you can get an understanding of why it is that I, as part of Masterclass at Creditor Academy, why I'm leading you into this direction. Well, first of all, I want to first off by starting to say one of the big benefits is privacy, okay? Nothing about you is in the public like the Secretary of State does to you, okay? Everything is private, okay? So you're not going to see you posted on the internet. You're not going to get any secretary sending you letters. You're not going to get any solicitors that reach out to you and your business. The only thing that is public about you is what you want to make public, like maybe your website or maybe the business dealings that you do. So privacy is number one of the benefits of an unincorporated business trust. Number two is limited liability, very limited. Everything is now going through your business trust, not through you. A business trust takes all of the heat. And I love that. Oh, I love that so much. It takes on all the responsibility of the contracts, anything. A business trust is literally, and I'm not paraphrasing here. This is in accordance to American jurisprudence. I'll go ahead and read it to you. A unincorporated business trust is a legal entity and an artificial individual with rights almost equal to a natural person or a human being, able to own property and conduct business like a natural person. It is irrevocable and no one has any revisionary rights to its assets. Business trust is so powerful. Like I said, it's like your own straw man. And that's how the system gains us, is they try to make us the straw man. They put all the liability, us the straw man. We need to create our own straw man and say, I ain't going to sign that contract. I'm not going to personally guarantee anything. It's my own straw man that's going to sign all this stuff. And if you want to get your money, if you want to get your credits, if you want to get any liability stakes, you got to go to the straw man, not me, buddy. I am free and clear of that. The third biggest benefit of a unincorporated business trust is not subject to probate. No probate whatsoever. The next is no state or inheritance taxes. Oh, I love that. I love that. When was the last time you woke up and started, operating in commerce in general, and you just say, oh, Me personally, my name is Paul Michael. I'm a no state or inheritance tax individual. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You're a no state or inheritance tax individual. How did you get that? I was born special. Well, this created entity is created special. The fifth one is you can minimize or totally avoid, not evade, but avoid income taxes. I love that about business trust. That's one of the biggest reasons why I first joined, and then I got to know all the other benefits and I was hooked. You can maximize depreciation. You can reduce capital gains tax. It's also looked at a separate investment program. I can go on and on and on about the benefits of a business trust. It is so powerful. It is so powerful. You can open up bank accounts with the business trust. You can get huge lines of business credit, which is where I'm leading into this, in order for you to really benefit from banks and not do a personal guarantee. So these are just a few of the things that I'm mentioning. That's why step one of Creditor Academy, when you're a member, is to get you your business trust ready. And how we do that is we give you modules. We give you recorded material. We give you step-by-step. We give you the templates to get you your unincorporated business trust set up from start to finish. Okay, we have full-time instructional designers here on staff. An instructional designer, just to let you know, is a professional that has their master's degree in course creation. What they do is they look from the viewpoint of the student and find out how students best learn and be able to apply a learning program, a step-by-step program, in order to give you the best version of education and delivery of information. I myself am what's called a subject matter expert or a teacher or a guru of some sorts, right? But I'm not someone who knows how to put an educational course together. So that's why I hired these instructional designers. I have 25 of them on staff that put together all the courses here at Creditor Academy. These are like university type level courses that you will be taking, no doubt. So I'm excited about your educational journey. Okay, so Paul Michael, great. You told me everything about step one. Now what's step two? What's step one of your masterclass? What are you leading me to in the second step? The second step is what's called private merchant account. What? What the? Huh? You said what? Private merchant account. You see, it's great to be in the private. Unincorporated business trusts are a phenomenal entity. If you do a little bit of research on it, there's no other entity really to utilize. I can think of a second one. But having an unincorporated business trust only matters so far. It doesn't matter if you have a business trust if Stripe, PayPal, Square, Clover, Wave Accounting, QuickBooks, all the other payment processors, Google Pay, all of them don't accept business trusts. Right? That's kind of a hard thing to swallow. And that's what most people run into. Hey, Paul Michael, I got this business trust, but I tried to accept payments through debit cards and credit cards and automated payments and stuff like that, and I can't. I absolutely can't. These PSPs, payment service providers, do not accept them. They do not accept them. And it's true. That's why it was so hard for me when I started businesses to even set up payments. And let me tell you, people are not paying in cash and check anymore. The wave of direction that people are moving in today's society is away from cash and checks, and now we're going into virtual payments, credit cards, debit cards, cryptocurrencies, and so on. And plus automated software systems and payment gateways and different technology like POS systems and all of that. So yeah, it's great to be operating a business in the private, but if you can't transact in the modern age, then you're not going to go very far anyways. And this is the number one problem of this private truth movement. People can give you the solution to the private entities all day, but if you can't transact, now you have no income for your family. You're doing under the table deals, right? You're saying, hey, I'll do this job for you. Can you Venmo me? Can you Cash App me? Can you mail the money to me? Can you write me a check? And that's just not a good way of doing business in the private. That is, it's really hindering you. So I'm known in the industry as what's called an ISO, Independent Service Organization. And what an ISO does is means that, I've been very fortunate in Creditor Academy to make a lot of connections, a lot of connections. And one of the biggest things is in this movement is you got to have bankers connects in order to really transact big numbers as well as to get really ahead in life. You need bankers connections. So how it is if you were to look at this tree, is there's the banks and then there's the merchant processors. The merchant processors need to do business with banks that have BIN numbers, okay? Bank identification numbers. These bank identification numbers is what allows the financing backing to the merchant processors. The merchant processors are the ones that allow these gateways, POS systems, allow you to transact. But they have to fall within the guidelines of Visa and MasterCard. Okay? So there you go. There's the little tree. You got the bank, you got the merchant processor, and you got Visa and MasterCard that set these rules, right? So what I am is an ISO. An ISO has a direct relationship with merchant processors and banks. Okay? So here's the problem. Okay, the problem is you can find a merchant processor. There's maybe, I don't know, like 100 of them, 100 top companies in the United States. And banks don't even get me started. Like there's so many banks that deal with merchant processors at the very top. It's in the thousands. It's in the thousands. So the key to this, that was my main issue, is I got to find a bank and a merchant processor that both agree to accept business trust. You know what that's like? That's like searching a needle in a haystack. Absolutely a needle in a haystack. It is so difficult to find. And that's why so many people have problems of being in the private. It's because, how am I going to find this? And most people, when they operate in the private, they get bombarded by the PSPs and don't even look for merchant accounts. Now, merchant accounts and PSPs, what's the difference? You're like, Paul Michael, I don't get what you're saying to me. What's going on? A PSP is basically a merchant account, but it's shared. Okay? It's shared. Basically, millions and millions and millions of people, including you, if you sign up for PayPal, Square, Stripe, all the other PSPs that are out there, you share one merchant account. So if one of you in that merchant account that you're sharing acts up, transacts something incorrectly, gets too many chargebacks, submits a business trust, they blacklist you. They kick you out because now you're a risk to their master merchant account. They don't want to do business with people that are high risk, right? Or in the private. So they kick you out, they blacklist you. So a lot of people come in with business trust, try to get in with the PSP because they're convenient, they're fun, they're easy to get involved with. Then all of a sudden, the PSP does some digging in you, which they eventually do. What the PSPs want you to do is do $5, $10, $15, $20,000 worth of transactions and then kick you out and then hold your funds and then freeze it and then keep it. That's how they make buco money. It's so corrupt, it's insane. So what we do in the private merchant accounts, okay, is we don't operate like PSPs. We're not a PSP at all, okay? We are a merchant account provider. So the same merchant account that these PSPs have that they put millions of people on, we give you your own merchant account where no one else is on. It's unique to you. And what's great about that is no one can kick you out. And we have a direct relationship with you, the merchant processor, the bank, and the ISO. So it makes it near impossible for you to be shut down. Now, the only thing that we need to do is we need to be able to accept business trust. That's the final thing. So my journey began in operating Creditor Academy. How do I find a Bankers Connect? Dude, I searched far and wide across the United States. I went to even other countries to do exactly that. And very lucky, actually, it wasn't me who found them, they found me. They found me. And they said, Paul Michael, we love the organization. We love the people that you're dealing with. We see the vision. I have a very, very big vision. There's nothing more important than the vision here. And what we did is I said to them, I need these business trusts accepted. And because all the people that were getting free into the private that are getting these business trusts need an opportunity to transact in the modern age. It's just period bar none. It has to be that way. So they said, okay, I think we could do that. I think we can absolutely do that. So I got a merchant processor and a bank to back Creditor Academy. So everyone that comes through the academy and goes through my 3 steps, a part of masterclass, you get a merchant account and I'll set it up for you. Okay? So step 1 is get the business trust. Get your private entity rocking and rolling. Step number 2 is get a merchant account. Be able to process payments inside of the private, right? So now we are ready for step 3. Step 3. Oh, I love step 3. Oh, step 3 is like where we really start rocking and rolling. Step 3 is credit optimization. If you want to follow along, first of all, before I move into credit optimization, chat, can you give me some feedback? Is what I'm saying making sense? Is that what I'm saying making sense? I want to hear you guys' feedback. Give me some, if I'm making sense on what I'm breaking down, tell me, something. Give me some feedback. Give me some feedback here. I'm excited to hear you guys' feedback. So, let's go into step number 3. Great. Awesome to see. Thank you, chat. All right. So let's go into step number 3. Credit optimization. Credit optimization is all about not having a personal guarantee on you anymore. It's actually getting to the root of the problem on how they enslaved us during COVID-19. And not repeating that same mistake. Step number 3 is optimizing your business trust credit profile to get hundreds of thousands of lines of credit extended out to you to use for any commercial needs that you have. So the first thing, isn't that amazing, by the way? Isn't that amazing? I love this in step 3. So how it works with banks is for credit optimization is they have underwriting requirements. These underwriting requirements are everything that you need for a business to get extended lines of credits from vendors, banks, and credit unions. The underwriting requirements are all the same for all 3 of those tiers, okay? Once you get your credit profile optimized on your business trust, you will be able to apply for what's called a Dun & Bradstreet number. This is the most important step of step number 3, is to get a DUNS number. As soon as you get a DUNS number, you can now absolutely operate in full commerce in the private, and you be set to go. And the banks love that. They want to work with you and extend you lines of credit. But you see, lines of credit is not the name of the game. The name of the game is really trust. You don't buy every credit card you apply for every banking relationship that you start, for every credit union that you speak with. You're not building credit, you're building a relationship. You're building that trust. And what you want to do is kind of like the Bible verse where God said, if I trust you with a little, I'll entrust with you much. It's the same thing for the banks. You can go and start off, and the banks will give you, $500, $1,000 or anything like that. And then a few months later, they'll kick you up to 50, 60 grand. What they're not worried about is how much money you're spending, but that you're making your payments on time, that you're diversifying enough, that you're making strategic business decisions, that you have the right accounts, the right underwriting, the right image. The credit optimization is your gateway into unlimited credit. That's what this is all about. Unlimited credit. Now, I want to talk about unlimited credit really quickly. And I want to stick with just a realistic number, okay? Let's say 200,000, okay? I'm talking to you right now. I don't want you to think about the other people on this stream. I'm talking specifically to you, okay? I want you to think about a vision that you have in your mind. I want you to think of something you're passionate about. Oh, you ever research something or you have an interest in something and then you just go all the way with it? You're like, I don't care how deep this rabbit hole goes, I'm going all the way. And you just obsess over it, right? I do that all the time. So, same thing. What vision do you have? What is it that you're passionate about? What would you like doing every single day? Would you like to be in real estate? Would you like to have a fleet of automobiles and put them all up on Turo? Would you like to get in the Airbnb game? Do you want to start a healthcare business? Do you want to sell a product, a beauty product, or a product that helps out the world? What is it that you would enjoy waking up every day? Maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe it's a customer service job. Whatever it might be. What would you enjoy doing every single day for the rest of your life and make buco money on? Okay? I want you to hold on to that vision just for a moment. Okay? Now, this is me and you talking. Whatever that vision is, I love it. I love it so much that I, Paul Michael Rowland, will give you 200 grand right now. I'm going to write you a check. Okay? I'm going to write a check. I'm going to send it to you in the mail, or I'm going to direct deposit it to you. And I'm going to give you that 200 grand to put that vision together. Would you accept it? Would you accept it? Would you be like, hey, yeah, Michael, give me 200 grand, bro. I'm on it. I'm juiced up. Ready and raring to go. Okay. Now, some of you might be so passionate, you might just jump right to it. Some of you might be saying to yourself in your head, you know what, Paul Michael, I really would accept that 200,000, but hey, hold on, hold your horses for a moment. I got an issue. Paul Michael, my issue is that, yeah, 200,000 might be great, but I still have a lot of personal expenses. I still got to pay rent. I still got to pay mortgage. I got to still pay for my kids to go to school. I got to still put food on the table. So as enthusiastic as I am about the vision, what's difficult for me is I can't step away from my 9-to-5 rat race job in order to give 100%. I got to put 40 hours a week into my job, and then whatever time I have left in my work week, maybe 10 hours, 20 hours, whatever I could squeeze outside my family time, I'll dedicate to this vision. Well, what does that tell me? The person that's about to write you a $200,000 check. that doesn't give me much confidence that this is going to be a success. Because if you're really going to invest in a vision, you have to be all in. Period, bar none. You have to be 100% into the vision. Well, that's hard to do if you're working 40 hours a week, rat race. And this is exactly how the bankers think, the credit unions think, the vendors think, right? They don't want to extend you $200,000, $500,000, $1 million if you're not all into something. They're so all in themselves on you that they're going to extend you the line of credit. They, as a way of respect, expect you to be the same way about your own vision and dream. Doesn't that just make sense? And that's where the beauty of being in that position is. The banks, as well as I, understand that you're going to use the $200,000 of business credit on business and personal expenses. Right? It just makes sense. You need to get paid an adequate amount of wage in order to subsidize the wage that you just walked out on. You need to be able to say, yo, I got 200 grand. I at least need 70 grand of that, 75 grand of that, just to maintain my current lifestyle. Well, go for it. That's totally reasonable to have exactly that. If that's what it takes in order for you to be 100% in, then pull it out as a business expense. And the bankers know that you're going to do that. I would know that you're going to do that. And that's okay to do. Pay yourself the living wage without being ridiculous, right? With being within means, and go ahead and take that out for your personal wage. Then the rest of it, the rest of the $130K that you got to play with, go balls to the wall, baby. All in and nothing else. Isn't that amazing? So amazing. So that's what business credit is all about. And business credit does come with a personal guarantee, but there's two types of personal guarantees that I really want to let you know about. The first personal guarantee is on you personally. Okay? It's on you. You don't want that. As soon as you do a personal guarantee on you, then you got a COVID-19 situation all over again. The second type of personal guarantee is on the business. It's on the business. All the business assets, the business credit, the business, everything. That's personal guarantee. And that's what you shift it to. You put it on not your social security number, you put it on its Dun & Bradstreet number. That Dun & Bradstreet number is equivalent to an SSN because it can operate in commerce just like your social security number can. That's why you can sign contracts to it. Is this making sense? Is that like an aha moment, man? You're like, holy shit. Yeah. So that's the name of the game. That's what we're trying to get to. Get 200 grand, $500,000. Put that bad boy, attach the liability to your business trust. Start spending credit cards on your personal expenses and your business. And start building your life for your community and your family around your vision. There's nothing more important than your vision. Okay? And there's a certain way that you're supposed to go into this credit optimization. Okay? We cover that at the Academy. I give you the full step-by-step. It is fully complete. Nothing is missing. And our staff of 93 full-time staff have been dedicated to this 3-step program to bring you in to the private. I'm so passionate about bringing you into the private because I know how freeing it is after you get into it. Not having to register with the state and gain the state's permission and being under their thumb, authority, and control, and being overtaxed at the same time. I know what it's like to have to endure payments under the table for a long period of time. Can you give me some money? Can you give me some money? Like, it's just so awkward. I know how defeating that is. And thirdly, I know what it's like to feel nervous about putting everything on my personal credit card in order to fund my business operations or my way of life, and overextending myself and going to bed every night dreaming and thinking that if this doesn't work out, or I don't make enough sales, or if this vision of mine doesn't work, that I'm out of not only my career, I'm out of my house, I'm out of my car, I'm out of my wages, and I have to go find a 9-to-5 job in an industry that I haven't worked in 5, 10, or 15 years because I've been a business owner, This eliminates all that. And so far in this guru truth movement that has been going on for decades now, there's so much information. There's so much. If you look at all this background of mine, if you want to think of each one of these tiles like a piece of knowledge, okay? Hey, this is about credit. This is about discharging. This is about private operating. This is about all of the, this is case law. Here's American jurisprudence. Here's Black Law's dictionary. Here's like, you have to literally, in this movement, know every single one of these tiles, it feels like, in order for you to get remedy now. Doesn't it? Doesn't it feel like that? Like, it's like, this is a sea of information. How do I even get started with being successful when there's so much information on YouTube, TikTok, Rumble, and all of that, and all these, and not only that, think about the books. You ever just look at the amount of books that people recommend to you and you have to read? And how do you know if you're reading the right book? A lot of books have some great information in it. That's what it is. It's more like fun facts. Wow, this feels empowering. This knowledge is powerful, but you don't know how to apply it. You know why you can't apply it? Because it's information, not education. Education is the steps to have you learn the information, but also to know how to apply it. When I was in nursing school, we did education and clinicals, right? So we learned inside the classroom what we were going to practice out in the field in our clinical environment, right? So we go to hospitals, long-term care facilities, specialty nursing facilities, hospitals, and so on. And we would apply the knowledge in the classroom and have our instructor teach us inside of our clinicals. That's exactly how the academy is. We give you education, but we also give you live sessions with me. Monday through Friday, I'm live, in order to teach you about the 3 steps and more that we have here at the academy, and more. We have a lot to offer here at Creditor Academy. Go to www.creditoracademy.com to see everything that's there and become a member. But once you look at that membership page, you're going to see the 3 steps in there. And that's all you should focus on. If you're really passionate about being in the private and really changing your life and separating out these liabilities and stop this government overreach, and you want to just have the right to be left alone, and also to build an empire financially and extend your amount of real estate around a business opportunity, then you need these 3 steps. You need them. It's the foundation of your learning. Is it everything that you need to learn? No. I'm not claiming that Creditor Academy is going to teach you every single one of these tiles, right? Each one of these little things. But what I am going to do is I'm going to identify one row. And I'm going to say, hey, if you're just starting and you just need your foundation, let's just focus here on these things. Just these few little tiles. And if you just have a firm foundation, it unlocks everything else. Actually, you can operate the rest of your life just off of the foundation. Because you're already in the private, you can already accept money, and you know how to get funding from banks. I mean, No offense, but isn't that just kind of all we need to know, chat? Like, let me get some feedback from you. Isn't that just kind of all we need to know? All right, great, got the money. No one can bother me. I'm left alone. And fuck, I could set money in the private in the modern age. Good enough for me. I'll take 200,000 every couple months from the bank and just live my best life. So you can live off of this. And the reason why I'm kind of saying that is, again, not to say all this other information isn't important, right? Because there's some importances and some great knowledge on it. It's just, imagine if you're a single mother working full-time job, raising kids and going to work, and then you go into this movement and now you got to find additional time to learn all this stuff, right? It's better for me to just say, hey, the foundation's right here. The foundation only takes you 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get into the private and start getting yourself set up. Straight to the point. It's not complicated. And I'm here to help you through that. I'd rather focus more on this. And the reason why is because the most important thing that I think, my personal opinion, you tell me in the chat if you agree, out of all the things that you're going to do for the rest of your life that you should be studying, that you should be concentrating on, that you should be putting your blood, sweat, and tears into, in my opinion, is this. It's the vision. I live in Seattle, by the way. It's your vision. Your vision should take more focus, energy, and time than it is to study things that you have no direction on where to start first. Your vision is what's going to give you fulfillment, because your vision is what gives back to your community. Your vision is the only thing where you can wake up every day and not feel like you're doing a job. Your vision is what you enjoy to do for the rest of your life. And you know what? It's good in God's eyes too. It's good in God's eyes too. You are utilizing your energy to your fullest capability. Now, let me summarize it now and everything I just said in the 3 steps, okay? In the 3 steps. Why do I have these 3 steps? I'll show you why. In life, there are only 4 phases that you're going to go through, that you can go through. Number 1 is an employee. An employee is someone who uses their time, your energy for somebody else's dream. The second phase that you can go to is called self-employed. That's where you use your time, your energy, your money for your dream. The third tier of this is called an entrepreneur. Okay? That's where you use other people's time and energy, your money for your dream. And the fourth category is where you use other people's time and energy, other people's money for your dream. And that's called a capitalist. At Creditor Academy, I want you to be sovereign capitalists. People that are in the private and being able to utilize capitalist ideology, because that's what made our nation the greatest in the whole world. A capitalist is the peak of the top of the food chain. If you are operating as a capitalist, you are truly unstoppable. The world is open to you. And there's nothing that you can't accomplish because you have the resources, time, energy, in order to create anything. Now, the only thing that will keep you lacking is if you don't have a big enough vision. This is why I tell people, think big. Think beyond what you could ever imagine, because when you're a capitalist, all of that is possible. And that's what really changes the world. And that's what we want to do at Creditor Academy, is we want to change the world through you by having you go through the private. At www.creditoracademy.com, you can become a member today. We have a special offer, limited time, where we will bring you through all 3 steps, 1, 2, and 3. We'll give you the business trust step-by-step instructions. We'll give you modules. We'll give you recordings. We'll give you live classes. We'll give you the templates for your business trust in order for you to set up your private entity. Second, as a part of your masterclass membership, we will set up your merchant account. We'll make sure that we accept your business trust items and information, which I already know is going to get approved because I'm the one that provided you the step-by-step for step 1. So then you can get your merchant accounts. So now you can start transacting. Then third and finally, let's do credit optimization of your private entity. And then we'll go get you huge lines of credit at vendors, banks, and credit unions in order for you to stop this 9-to-5 rat race with no personal guaranteed on you, so you could do what you should be doing, which is taking risks. Life is all about taking risks, right? Let me hear that. Life is about taking risks. If you believe that, right, I'm a risk taker inside of the chat. I'm a risk taker. Life is about taking risks. Yeah, not everything is guaranteed. You're going to succeed and fail, and it's going to have its ebbs and flows. But at least you need to know what it is that you're doing is the development of yourself. You will learn through failure. I've learned so much through failure. Man, I got my business trust wrong. I did the wrong business deal, did partnerships and all that. I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world, because through all of that adversity, it's got me here today. And the fact that now I don't have to worry about failing anymore. It's just, if I fail, what do I just do? Pfft, no big deal. Put this bad boy in the shredder, this unincorporated business trust, create another one, and say, hey, Mr. Banker, I know that entity was irresponsible, but hey, look, I got a brand new one. Isn't that amazing? Got a brand new, this one's a pristine. And then the banker will be like, oh, Schnoot, man, that is a good entity. I think we should give you lines of credit, Mr. Roland. You're damn right. Yeah, exactly right. So let me look at this. So I see a lot of you want to be a sovereign capitalist. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's exactly what I want to see. Okay. So when you're a sovereign capitalist, a lot of things are not only open to you, but a lot of other opportunities. So a sovereign capitalist, why did I choose that key phrase? Okay. A sovereign capitalist, again, well, when you start thinking about sovereignty, right, on how we got into this mess in the first place, okay? Okay, what is the definition of sovereignty? At its core, it means supreme authority within a territory, a system, or a domain. It means having the full right and power to govern, enforce rules, and control decisions without interference from outside forces. Okay? And then we ask ourselves, what then is a capitalist? A capitalist is someone who owns or controls capital, meaning money, property, businesses, or other productive assets, and uses it to generate profit. Used to generate profit. So you're a sovereign capitalist. You're the supreme authority over your business trust entity which is your domain, and you have the right to the power to govern and enforce rules and control decisions without interference from outside forces like the state on how you delegate your business trust dealings. And when you present your business trust to the banks are going to be like, who are you? What is this entity? This entity is what has money, property, or a business, and I'm here to present it to you because it's going to generate a profit. And once you say, oh, I got a good way for you to generate a profit to a bank, oh, you're doing business all day. You're doing business all. That's what they love to hear. Wait a minute, I get the rate of return on my investment. And that's why banks and credit unions will invest in you for that exact reason. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So you got to. You're a risk taker. If you're a risk taker, be a sovereign capitalist. Take what we're talking about today and apply it by joining our masterclass. This is the time where you can say to yourself, all right, I'm not waiting anymore. I want to be private, but I want structure. If you crave structure like I do, I mean, this is absolutely the program for you. We have spent so many hours perfecting our ability to make sure that you're successful. I took my business credit and I honestly sat there and I just said, I don't know how to put an educational program together. So if I don't, but I know a lot about this subject. So how do I keep this organized? And I got help from other people. If you're sitting with another guru that's out there in the market, you should be asking yourself the question, to what am I investing in? To what degree did this guru or teacher invest in the program that they put together for my benefit? And if the answer is that they got 0 employees, if they have no vision, if they did sloppy work on just saying, hey, here's a bunch of PDF documents, why don't you read your heart out and I'll just comment on some of the books that you have, then dude, that's not education. That's a book club. Chat, I want to hear you say, I don't want to be a part of a book club. No book clubs. If you're tired of book clubs, say no book clubs. Because that's what they are. They're the book club leaders, right? They have all these books or all these chat GTP articles that they wrote. And they said, hey, you know what my education for you is I'm going to give you another template and another book. Well, dude, screw off with all that, dog. I got more than enough books and templates to fill up, to have a stack this high of how many. And you know what? I didn't even read all of them. And all it did was it gave me a little momentary feeling of a high. You know, the high of buying something. You know, when you're like, oh, I'm feeling kind of down this month. I don't feel like myself. So you know what you do is you start to go to the mall and do what's called retail therapy. And you're just like, oh, I'm going to do some retail therapy. I'm going to buy some new shoes. I'm going to go get some new products or something like that. And you just get that little high. Well, when it comes to the private, a very important subject matter for you to grasp to get unlimited credit, to be able to put everything else in some other entity's name, so you're not personally liable for anything that happens in case COVID-19 happens again and you're out on your ass and you have all these personal guarantees and personal credit that you took out in lines of credit to keep the company going. And you're telling me that important of an operation and system is set up through book references and templates? Do you really want to put the risk out like that? And you know what? So many people do. So many people do. There's so many individuals, when I do my consultations with individuals, my consultations are booked out, for weeks and weeks. I probably have a few slots, though, that are available. If you want to go to www.creditoracademy.com, have a meeting with me. We'll sit down, look at your situation, and do a custom pathway, to help out your situation. I'm here for you. But so many consultations, I say, Paul Michael, I am trying to get out of this situation. And what happened is I listened to a guru. He said, I don't have to pay my bills, or, hey, if I submit this piece of paper or read this book, everything be set. He gave me all these templates and little examples, and now I'm scrambling. And I asked him the question, I'm like, why are you scrambling? And he's like, I'm scrambling because I don't feel like I learned enough. Like there's some puzzle piece of information that I am missing in order for all my issues and problems to go away. And I just need to figure out what that is. I need someone to handhold me on what that is. And you know what the answer is that I say in most of those consultations is, one, you can't learn your way out of a tough situation. If you have no structure and you're reading templates and book references in order to help yourself financially, dude, it's a maze, man. You're just not going to do it. Secondly, the reason why you're in this tough situation 99.99% of the time is because you contracted yourself into the situation. You took your public straw man, you signed on the dotted line that I'm personally guaranteeing the liability, and this is why you're in this situation in the first place. If you would have had your foundation of having your business trust, your private merchant account, and your credit optimization all put into order, you would have never, ever signed yourself up to be personally liable. So the answer is not what's in a book or what a guru has to say in the next webinar that they start. It's you need your foundation. And your foundation, you can get done in a week, max 2 weeks. Max. And we set up the entire academy step by step. We have modules, lessons, pre-recordings, and stuff all like that. I'm going to have demonstrations of this. We have a Saturday event actually coming up for non-members. So if you go to www.creditoracademy.com and you want to be a part of my personal seminar where you can ask me questions about our program and I demo you, all of the courses, lessons, and modules at our academy, you can go and register. Just fill out a contact us form and be like, I want to be part of the non-member Saturday seminar. And I will be live with you answering questions. So I hope to see you guys there. If you're going to be there, put that into the chat right now. Say, I want to be there for that event. Go to www.creditoracademy.com and say, I'm going to be there. And what's great about the live events is you're meeting with other like-minded individuals that all want the same thing, and you're going to be a part of a community of people that are laser focused on getting your foundation done. And once you get your foundation done, and realistically you get your first $200,000 in business credit, we show you the step-by-steps on how to do that. Now you're in a room filled with people that are doing the exact same steps and they got their 200 grand as well. Now you invest in each other. Now you're talking with people with real capital and money, and you're talking with people that are real capitalists, and they're all in the private. I mean, come on. That is a solid plan. That is, if I've ever heard of one, I wish that was available to me when I first got started. And that is all included with your $69 a month membership. It's a $69 a month membership that you can sign up right now by going to the homepage of our website and register. And what's great is all the courses and classes here at Creditor Academy are at your own pace. We have our masterclass courses, which are included with your membership. We also have some premium courses as well. So if you want to go deeper, if you're like, all right, I got my foundation, Paul Michael, but I kind of want to go a little bit deeper. I want to learn more about business trust. I want to learn about other entities that I can use, like a private membership association. That's the second most powerful entity in the private movement. There's only two. I only teach two. Business trust and private membership association. And you want to go deep into detail about that? Then great, you got your foundation. Let's go a little deeper, buddy. Let's talk about some strategies, because now you're utilizing a lot of money. How can we get you to be even more private? Or maybe you want to learn more about not just business credit, but you're like, hey, how can I discharge my personal credit, Paul Michael? That's where we have a course called I Want Remedy Now. It's our most popular course here at Creditor Academy. It's all about discharging all the bad stuff on your personal credit. We discharge bankruptcies, student loans, late payments on credit cards, foreclosures. We do collections and stuff like that. And there is nothing I have seen on on anybody's personal credit report from Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian that we could not discharge. And it's so nice and clean because it's step by step all the way through, and it's an educational format. I'm not going to give you a book. I really want you to understand this. I do not give out books, okay? And I don't bombard you with templates. These are actual modules that you go through. We have videos. We have gamification. We have immersive reader, meaning that it reads to you. We have live sessions and recorded sessions, and they're all organized in a neat fashion. This Saturday, I'm going to demo that to everybody who wants to apply for the non-members. If you want to be a sovereign capitalist, put into the chat that you want to be a sovereign capitalist, and I'd be so excited. And go to our website to fill out your information so we can get you in there. Now, once you have your foundation, okay, your unincorporated business trust, your private merchant account, and you got your credit optimized for the credit unions, vendors, and banks, okay, what I want you guys to do is I want you guys to connect with me in my live classes. Monday through Friday, I have master class that's for members only, okay? It's Monday through Friday. And what we're going to do is we're going to mastermind some stuff, okay? A lot of you are just like, Paul Michael, I'm right here. I want to get the unincorporated business trust done, but in my state, I'm having this problem. I'm having this difficulty. I'm having an issue specific to me. I know you got information on this, Paul Michael, but I have a question. Do I have to book a consultation with you? Do you have resources available to help answer our questions? What if I have a question? What do I do? That's what my masterclass live sessions are all about, is answering your question specifically about either step 1, 2, or 3, okay? My goal is to make you successful through all 3. I'm dedicated to it. So every day, Monday through Friday, and even on Saturday, I will help answer your questions. So you never have to feel like I'm leaving you high and dry. Hey, I sent an email, or hey, I don't get it. You need an instructor to help answer your questions, and that's what I'm here for. Masterclass is dedicated to that. Same thing with the merchant account. Now, the merchant account is great for 2 reasons, okay? The merchant account, I get you to accept payments in the private. So you have your own merchant account. So I'll get you your own software that's included. All this is free, included with your masterclass, by the way. I'm not going to hit you with an extra payment, okay? Your unincorporated business trust, your merchant account, and your credit optimization, so you get your Dun and Bradstreet number and start asking the banks and credit unions for money, is all included with your $69 a month masterclass membership. Again, I have to increase the price coming here really soon. This is a limited time. But essentially what I love about the private merchant course is the fact that there's 2 things that go with it. Number 1 is when we set up your private merchant account, I get you a gateway that's included. And that gateway, you learn, and you can set it up to a website, do automatic payments. You can send people invoices. You can transact and do automatic payments for memberships, whatever. I mean, you have full capabilities in this. But here's the other thing that we have. We have a course training program. Now, like I said, I'm an ISO, an independent service organization, okay? So I have a Bankers Connect and a Merchant Processors Connect, and they work through, and then as an ISO, I work directly with them. Now, ISOs, okay, ISOs is a very, very prestigious position to be in, okay? You cannot go to school to be an ISO, okay? What you have to be is you have to work under an ISO, and an ISO has to teach you everything about merchant accounts, merchant processing, and even how to help out others in the community get their own merchant accounts. Like I said, these private service providers are out to screw you. PayPal, Stripe, Square, all that. You can see this on the website, how we break it down. But essentially, these PSPs are charging high amount of percentages on all transactions. They're absolutely screwing you. So a merchant account and a merchant account provider, which is called an ISO, can get rates that absolutely dominate across PSPs. You can get 4, 5, 6, 7 basis points lower than what the PSPs are doing. You know why? It's because you are creating your own merchant account, as the PSPs are sharing one merchant account. A merchant account and its rates are set the moment that you create it. And as soon as it's set, you cannot change no matter what. So can you imagine millions of people are just sharing one merchant account? So everybody's going to get that rate, that 3% or higher, right? But when you're a merchant account provider and you're creating a merchant account specifically for one business and millions of other people are not attaching to it, it's only for you. Well, dude, you can negotiate down the interchange. You can negotiate it down because you're not sharing. It's a personal relationships. This allows the bank and the merchant processor to be profitable and for you to get the lowest rate. So not only are you going to get a merchant account with us that's in the private where we accept your business trust, but the second thing is you're going to get the lowest rate in the industry. Honestly, you will get a better rate than any PSP that's out there. That's 2 huge advantages. But wait, there's more. Some of you might be like, Paul Michael, I set up the business trust, but I don't know what my vision is yet. I don't know what I want to do. Is there any way that I can earn a passive income in your private academy? Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. I'm going to give you a couple ways that you can do it. Okay. Number 1 is if you learn how to set up a business trust and you know how it works, let me tell you, you make a lot of money doing this. A lot of money. Even before I started Creditor Academy, I did business trusts for families, friends, business partners, relationships, all that. My business trust got accepted into a lot of businesses that started healthcare businesses with the Department of Health and so on. So business trusts are widely accepted. The average income is anywhere between $150,000 and $300,000 a year. Okay? Holy shit. Right? And the reason, so Paul Michael, why is it so high? Damn, that's amazing. How is it that how do you get that much? I'll tell you how you can get this much. First of all, the service within itself is a $5,000 service on average. On average. That's why it's amazing that I'm giving this to you for $69 a month. Plus, I'm giving you these other things. And more. And more. And I'm giving you live sessions about it too. But the reason why you earn so much is because there's so many businesses that are registered with the state, that are under the thumb, that are paying all these taxes and regulation fees and stuff like that. If you go to the Chamber of Commerce and you're the only one there, your Chamber of Commerce is just basically business owners or business representatives of large companies that go and do business with other business owners. Okay, it's B2B. I went to the Chamber of Commerce and I would tell people this, and I would just empathize with them. I'm like, yeah, can you believe Washington State does this and that, and the fees, the da 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 da. And then you know what they do? They say, yeah, but what can you do about it? And I'm like, I'll tell you what we could do about it. Is we could stop operating under the public and start operating under the private. And they're like, excuse me, what are you talking about? I was just like, yeah, you don't have to abide by all these statutory regulations that the state is putting you through that are unnecessary, that have nothing to do with your business. Well, how? That just sounds impossible, Paul Michael. How can I do that? And as soon as you ask how to do anything, I would say, pay me. As soon as they ask, how do you do that, Mr. Rowland? I say, pay me, and I'll make it happen. And I've helped out so many clients. It's got to be thousands at this point. Do business trusts, and I do it proficiently. I've seen every single situation. There isn't a situation I cannot overcome. And because it's just so powerful to be in the private, I'm just so passionate about it, and I want to teach everybody about it. So if you want, first of all, to be like, hey, I'm really passionate about the private, Paul Michael. If I learn this, can I make this my business? Absolutely. That's what we're an academy. That's it. Oh, can you imagine if I went to nursing school and went through clinicals and the whole entire nursing program, and they told me, oh yeah, all that nursing program stuff that you did, well, you can't get a job. It was just good knowledge, huh? No, our academy is to teach you so you can proficiently know everything that you need to know about business trusts. The master class gives you the high level, but if you want to go deeper, we have what's called a premium course for what's called Operate Private. And now we not only teach about business trust more, but also private membership associations, how to put real estate inside of a trust, how to put your automobile in a trust, how to do a passive income business in a trust. I mean, we got so many things. We even do legacy planning, So you could go deeper with this. Now, in the next one, which is the merchant account, we have a course that teaches you everything about merchant accounts and processing, because you need to know what a merchant account is just in general. So that's included with your education. But maybe you want to go a little bit deeper. Paul Michael, can I earn a passive income being a ISO myself? The answer is yes and no. The answer is yes and no. And here's the reason why. You can't just wake up in the morning and be an ISO, okay? You have to have a merchant processor and a bank approve you to be an ISO, because all the liability is put on the merchant processor and the bank. So the merchant processor and the bank have a stringent amount of requirements as well as already experience that you need before you even become an ISO. So what the merchant processor and the bank does is they put you under an existing ISO, okay? Already has their ISO number. And you're known as a sub-agent, okay? Your ISO's responsibility is to teach you how to become an ISO and prepare for the interview and approval of the bank and the merchant processor. There's two things that come with that. Number one is education, and number two is action. You not only need to learn all this stuff, but you also need to show that you're proficient on getting people signed up, going through the process, getting your feet wet and all that. So if you want to become an ISO, it's very important which ISO you work under. Because, dude, there's so many Tom, Dick, and Harrys that are ISOs that are just shit at teaching people. They're great themselves. They really done the research and they got to that, they really grinded to get that position, but they're not good educators. They're not good at helping you out, They're kind of just more about, hey, do you got a sale that we can make real quick? You know what I mean? They don't care to nurture you, where I do, right? And so I have the entire academy. I have 25 full-time instructional designers and 93 staff in total of software developers and our own software, proprietary software that we utilize for our course creation and stuff like that. I'm invested to getting you to be an ISO, because the passive income that you can earn from being an ISO sub-agent is just as phenomenal as being an ISO yourself. So I can help you. I can absolutely help you. I'll invest in you, and I'll have an entire course series that you take that's everything that you need to pass. And then when you go out into the world and start getting some deals and stuff, I help assist you in that as well. So we have a great thing. So now you got income, $150,000 to $200,000 or $300,000 a year service for the business trust. You're now using passive income from helping businesses save money. And then finally, there's the business credit, right? There's the credit optimization. That's step number 3. Now, what's unique about this is most companies that operate do not have DUNS numbers. They don't. Go to any business owner your friend, your business acquaintance, and be like, hey, what's your Dun & Bradstreet number? He'd be like, what are you talking about? Huh? Me? Chat, let me hear you. If you know someone with a Dun & Bradstreet number, say, yeah, I know. Or be like, hey, no, I've never heard of that before. Give me some interaction. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is what I'm saying make sense? So your Dun & Bradstreet number is how you get access to funding. You have to have a Dun & Bradstreet number. It's the starting point for people in all businesses, whether you're private or public, okay? So knowing how to get a Dun & Bradstreet number and what the underwriting requirements are for Dun & Bradstreet and the banks and the credit unions is a huge service within itself that most people are unaware of. So if you know this information from the $69 a month class that I teach, all 3 steps in, now you're not only helping people to get their private entity business started, you're not only helping them to be able to process payments, but now you're even helping them get set up with their business credit so then they can get funding themselves. Let me tell you, this is more than what most people get the opportunity to learn. It is so unique, and it's unique to us at Creditor Academy. And the reason why it's unique is because I'm passionate about getting everybody into the private at an affordable cost. I know that there's single mothers that have a full-time job and are taking care of their kids. I got a kid of my own. And they want to learn about this movement, and they just do not have the time. They cannot read endless hours worth of textbooks. They cannot try to pay an exorbitant amount of money. You need a lot of hand-holding in order to get inside of here. So I have everybody that you're a single mother or a single father with a full-time job raising and taking care of kids, and you want to learn about this and do some action steps to get into the private, but you just don't have the time or the money. So this is why we have Masterclass. Masterclass is the foundation that you need to learn along with the action steps. And if you just learn the foundation from me, that's all you need. That's all you need. What I also love about Masterclass is you get to see our standard. You get to see our standard. It's low risk for less than a coffee a day. I mean, geez, Starbucks is, $10 to $12. We're less than a cup of coffee a day for your membership. And we are here to help you in a huge way financially, as well as to protect your privacy and to make sure that you don't give yourself into a tough situation in the future. So you get to see our standard. You have low risk. It's low financial commitment. You can cancel your membership at any time. And you have a great support staff that's behind you. But most importantly is that you are working towards your vision. Like I say, there's nothing more important than your vision. If we don't get you to your vision, you're not going to have the fulfillment that you want in your life. You're not going to have the freedom to go on extra vacations. You're not going to have the freedom to wake up every morning and be excited about what you do. You're not going to have the feeling of being able to say, hey, I'm contributing to my community in a way that I never thought possible. Your vision is more important to me, and should be to you, than studying endless gurus' information and reading a bunch of books over and over on this, okay? On how to be in the private, how to be a sovereign capitalist. And what's great about that is as soon as you get access, as soon as you operate in the private and you get access to your funding, I want to do business with you. I absolutely want to do business with you. I got connections in all over the world. I got software that I personally developed. I got international recruiting and staffing service. I have website services. I've got legal attorneys. I got everything that you need to want for us to do business with one another, because I want all of us to succeed. And that's really the next chapter for me beyond Creditor Academy, is to work with the graduates here at the Academy. So my call to action to you is go to our website, www.creditoracademy.com, and learn about what it is that we're doing. Get involved with our community. Start a group, private message one another, look into our ecosystem, say hello to my educational counselors, give us a call, and we would be so excited to have you. It would be an honor to meet you myself and for us to go on this journey into the private together, because in the end, there's a great saying that I like to go over, and it's the Spider-Man one. You know, the great power brings great responsibility, right? There's a lot of power in operating in the private and utilizing business trusts and utilizing huge lines of credit for your business. So let's use that power responsibly and to affect our communities and our families in a positive way. Thank you, everybody, for watching me in this live stream. I look forward to seeing you guys in more live streams. Lots more to come. Once again, go to www.creditoracademy.com, and I look forward to seeing you all in Master.